Introducing the 3-part options course with Hans Albrecht. Get access for free by scanning this QR code or clicking on the link in the description.
Hey guys, welcome back. Sorry, it was my birthday this weekend, so I couldn't do a video last week. Given where we were at, I don't really have anything new to report. We're still kind of on that key pivot at 5731. But that was a good start. You could see here, we broke this trend line on Thursday, and that's when we kind of dumped into the support level, and we're just kind of holding on. So, this was expected. If you were to break this, we would come into support, but we have not broken this. You can see this is pretty much the previous level of resistance. So this needs to, right now, right, given that we are at a pivotal election result, the market right now is at a key pivot. Like if we were to dump below 5730, I zoom out, we know we're at the top of the channel. So we're likely gonna come down at least into 5462. But I think if we break this 5732, I think at minimum we are gonna come retest 5220. But something is pricking me because I think that this does more than a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I go to the 4-hour chart. This does very much look like an ABC kind of chart. You can see here, we exactly are kind of sitting at the 1.618 FIP. So that's why I kind of insist that 5730 is kind of important, is this could be an ABC. So this is your 1, 2, 3, 4 into a, I think we're going to bounce regardless because I don't see the support breaking the first time, but I could see it breaking the second time. So in both cases, I do see a small bounce coming. But in this case, you can see here, if this is an ABC, we still are within our larger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we haven't put in the fifth wave. So I do think, regardless of whoever wins, we could kind of have that knee-jerk reaction into that 6,000 level. And I do think that this point, we will kind of have that sell-off into this channel. So it's just a matter of when we break this 5.7. Let's put it 5,700. Let's give it room for error. So if we can break 5,700, I think at minimum we test 5,400, or I do see 5,100 coming into play pretty soon, at least. But if we were in this case, I could see digestion before it legs up. But if we were to kind of have that fifth wave to the spike and dump post-elections, then I could see, if I go to the weekly chart of SPY, I could see if we do kind of have that spike and dump, then I could see a more aggressive sell-off into the 5,000 level and maybe even 4,800. But let's see, it has to be like an 8. Again, I'm not saying where the market is going to top and we're going to hell. All I'm saying is from the top of this channel, we're going to come back to the bottom of this channel. I'm just waiting to see whether we have that spike and dump or whether we're just going to dump. So that still exists. The wicks again, I've mentioned this 23 level. You can see here the reason why. This is your supply zone in the market. So again, wicks will give you a clue. If we can break and stay above 23, 24, then we will have a very volatile spike. And that means SPX is likely to break 5730. But if we reject, you can see every time we've touched, we likely had a sell-off. So if we reject and come back into support, then it's likely you will have that spike and dump. So keep an eye on wicks. We look at the chart of 10-year. Again, I've mentioned this trend line. We are at a crucial point in the market. So you need to keep an eye on the 10-year as well. You can see we are kind of forming a flag, and it's just a matter of time before it breaks the flag. But again, the first time we try, we're probably going to reject. So keep an eye on that. We look at the dollar again. You can see, again, we mentioned digestion. So not a surprise at all that we're digesting this massive 12, 13 days of a bullish 5% move on the dollar. So again, expecting digestion, not a problem. I just think that this very much looks like an ABC. So I did think maybe the dollar kind of digests, like I said, for a bit. We come down, right? I think this might end up being our wave 1, wave 2 before we go up for 3, 4, 5. So bigger picture, I still think that we could have more buying on the dollar in the future as could class weakness in the market. And you can see here right now, the weekly, right, the 4-hour chart is trying to sell off. So again, support on the dollar would be 103.15. Resistance 104.5. So yeah, keep an eye on the dollar as well. So with that being said, let's look at this week's watch list. And I've mentioned Amazon before, wherein it was forming a pennant and we're waiting to see whether it breaks down or breaks up. And you can see right now it is trying to break out, and we are still holding within this channel. So that's why I kind of have it on this week's watch. On the off chance that we do spike and dump, I think Amazon could be a good one. As long as we stay above like 194, 193, I think Amazon could push up into like 200, maybe 205 to the top of this channel before we come down. So that's the reason I have Amazon on this week's watch list. The next one I have is LVS. And again, I've posted this before, and you can see on the weekly chart that this is a weekly level of resistance. So we try to break out, we failed, and we are opening below resistance. So as long as we stay below 52, I think we're likely to come down into 48 and even into 45 still. That's the reason I had LVS on this week's watch list. The next one I have is Boeing. So we discussed this, but we didn't end up breaking out. Fake breakout came back again. So again, round two, let's see if this breakout holds. You can see kind of opening just above on the 4 hours. So we would ideally need it to hold over 156, hold over this level of supply that it's trying to gap up over. Then we can try to have a breakout into 170, 175. Otherwise, again, we're going to come back into the bottom of the channel. So yeah, just keep an eye on Boeing. Last but not the least, I have ASML. And again, you can see that I showed you this channel. We have broken down, we try to get back in, we failed. So if we do break 670, you can see here, go to the daily chart, we have a gap to fill all the way down to 600. So I don't think we do continue selling off if we break 670. So that's all I have for this week. I'll chat with you on Twitter or on our product. See you.
Subscribe to LaDuc Trading YouTube channel for more Wolf's weekly wave list videos and other content.